Unlike much of the world today, and most people who have ever lived, weird people are highly magnetic, not because they fit into society's benchmarks, but because they don't. These are the people who bend reality just by existing. From a young man who gave birth to twins to a girl whose skin sheds like a snake, here are the 15 most unusual people you won't believe exist. Number 15. Joseph Reed. A father is one of the bravest, coolest, and most loving people anyone can have in their life. He does whatever it takes to stay standing, and Joseph Reed is living proof of it. He lost his arms and legs to meningitis at just 2 years old. His childhood in foster care was rough. Loneliness, depression, even suicidal thoughts. But he didn't stay there. Now 40, he's a husband, a father of 4, and works full-time. Friends call him Nub Zero, the no-legged hero. And honestly, he's earned it. He lives without limbs, but somehow manages to lift everyone around him. His determination pushes his kids, inspires his wife, and surprises every stranger who crosses his path. Joseph never sugarcoats the hard parts, but he also doesn't let them win. He built a life he once thought he'd never reach, one held together by grit, humor, and the kind of resilience most people never need to learn. He proves possibility isn't about limbs or limbos, it's about will. Number 14. Aiden. Now, we're leaving Earth. Well, of course not. But I mean, how can this be possible? Aiden became a father at 19 by giving birth to twins. He had only begun transitioning a year earlier when he suddenly realized he wanted children. He paused hormone treatment, went through IUI, and soon learned he was expecting Carter and Quinn, now 4. He raised them alone until meeting Claire, who later became mom to both girls. Together, they decided to grow their family, so Aiden paused transitioning again and welcomed their new baby, Cove, now 2 months old. Aiden calls them a typical family, but he and Claire want their daughters to understand their dad is special for carrying them. Pride events are a constant in their lives. Online, though, people attacked him. Some even claimed his pregnant belly was fake. His response stays firm. "I feel sorry for you. Our family is happy, content, and full of love. Nothing you say can change that." Number 13. Tony Hulk Giraldo. How far can you go to make your body like the Incredible Hulk? Well, I don't know about you, but this guy from Brazil went a bit too far. Now he can't come back. In other words, he is dead. The reason is simple. He wanted big muscles at any cost. Tony Giraldo, known as Hulk, had 28-inch biceps, built not by iron, but by synthol injections that ballooned his arms. He loved the look, even as it wrecked his back and strained his health. His wife, Marimilia, hated the risks. Doctors warned him repeatedly, but Tony pushed deeper into the obsession. His brother, Alvaro Conan, followed the same path, injecting chemicals since he was 15. Together, they bulked up to a staggering combined 241 kilos. Eventually, the damage caught up. Their skin couldn't stretch anymore, and doctors told them to stop. Tony's choices cost him his life. His story is a brutal reminder of what happens when the pursuit of bigger becomes its own destruction. Number 12. Caitlin. Kate was born with Treacher-Collins syndrome, which disrupts facial bone development. She entered the world without a jaw or ears and required a tracheostomy just to breathe. Hearing aids help her make sense of sound, but the toughest part wasn't medical, it was the cruelty. Kids mocked her, called her frog and alien. For a while, she didn't even want to attend school. Then came dance. It became her escape, her healing, her language. She began at 10. 14 years later, she's still dancing, and with her boyfriend Montre's encouragement, started sharing it online. One post blew up. Some comments were brutal, But Montre stood firm. Let them talk. We're doing our thing. After years of feeling unworthy, Kate says she finally found someone who truly sees her. Now she doesn't feel different, just loved. I'm living life, doing what I've got to do, she says. And her story? It's reaching far beyond her TikTok screen. Number 11. Nisha Lobo. Well, people do a lot of things to look pretty. I mean, they use creams, creatures, or anything that makes them look attractive. Meanwhile, Nisha Lobo has been dealing with a reality none of those products can touch. She was born with lamellar ichthyosis, which is a rare genetic condition that makes her skin crack in dry weather and shed constantly. Now 25, she lives with her adoptive parents in Bengaluru and refuses to let the condition write her story. I don't want people treating me differently, she told Truly. Most people stare when I go out, but I don't want that shaping how they act around me. She must keep her skin hydrated and carefully maintained, but she never lets it slow her down. She's studying, staying focused, and pushing forward. My life is good, she says. COVID kept her indoors, but her family stayed beside her through everything. Their support and her stubborn spirit keep her grounded and alive. Number 10. Yin Xin. This woman was born in China with a parasitic twin growing from her back. What began as a tiny limb eventually morphed into a partial torso. We mean it was complete with fingers, a stomach, and even a breast. By 11, the undeveloped fetus had consumed half her back. It wasn't just a medical burden, it was a daily weight, both physical and social. Her family had very little, but they scraped and saved for years, determined to give her a chance at a freer life. In 2007, a team of surgeons finally removed the mass. The operation was long, precise, and dangerous, but it was successful. Yin Xin pulled through, lighter in body and freer in movement. She didn't seek fame. She didn't turn into an icon. She simply returned to everyday life with the same quiet resolve her family had shown all along. Her condition was incredibly rare, but what lingered most wasn't the oddity itself. It was the calm, persistent strength they met it with. Number 9. Ripu Bhatia. Well now, here we have another man with missing pieces, but absolutely none of them dim his fire. At 25, Ripu from Auckland nearly died from meningococcal septicemia. The infection took his nose, upper lip, and his arms and legs. For a long time, he couldn't face his reflection, and his confidence crashed. After 250 days in hospitals and rehab, he slowly adjusted to a body that felt entirely new. Now 27, he's living out a dream, working as a journalist, using his experiences to sharpen his storytelling. Career-wise, he's thriving, but there's another challenge he's ready to reclaim: swimming. He hasn't been back in the water since his rehab days, but now he wants to return, this time with a friend beside him. To come so close to death and emerge physically and mentally different is a massive shift, he says. He calls it a second chance, and he's grabbing onto that chance with both hands, even if they're no longer there. Now let's move to number 8, Leslie Lux. Leslie grew up fixated on anime, especially the glamorous, curvy females. That obsession shaped how she saw herself. Cosplay made me want surgery, she said. Now an Instagram model, Leslie has spent over $100,000 transforming her body to look like the characters she loves. I want to be big, curvy, extreme, she says. But it's not just about looks. It's also about pressure. There's always someone with more curves or a fresher look. I have to stay relevant. Her boyfriend Michael adores her transformations but admits it's intense. He says it feels like having a new girlfriend every day, but it can be a lot. Friends and family worry she's gone too far, but Leslie isn't stopping. She knows it's not for everyone. I feel good when I'm changing. I feel like I'm becoming the version of myself I always imagined, she says. Whether it's fantasy or reality, Leslie's reshaping herself on her own terms, and she's not putting limits on it. Number 7. Ren. Ren is 29 and was born without hands or elbows, but she never waited for the world to figure her out. She calls her arms nubs and uses them for everything: cooking, makeup, typing, even sewing. She's not here to inspire. She's just living her life. Growing up wasn't easy. People stared. Some flinched. Plenty of guys wouldn't even hold her hand in public. Then she met Timmy. He laughed, listened, and never treated her like a project. Now they post TikToks together. Some raw, some hilarious, none of it staged. Ren doesn't sugarcoat the cruel stuff. She talks about stares, insults, and ignorance. But she also shows daily joy, normalcy on her own terms. Disability doesn't mean broken, she says. It just means different. She didn't build a following with filters or pity. She built it by showing up real, unedited, unapologetic. The world didn't shape her. She reshaped what the world expects, and she's not waiting for permission to keep going. Number 6. Levi Christosek. Levi lives with Jansen metaphyseal chondrodysplasia, one of the rarest dwarfism conditions on Earth. Fewer than 30 cases are known worldwide, only 5 in the US. He's one of them. At 19, Levi stands 38 inches tall. Joint pain is constant. He has to move carefully, but nothing about his spirit slows down. His motto, "Go live life," isn't a slogan. It's how he wakes up every day. From small-town adventures in Ocean Springs to viral moments online, Levi does life loud. His mom, Donna, has always stood by him, especially when the internet gets cruel. In March 2025, she fired back at trolls who mocked his size, reminding everyone that real strength doesn't need to shout. It just shows up. Levi doesn't want to inspire people. He just refuses to shrink himself to make others comfortable. His story isn't about what he lacks, but what he has. Number 5. Raiden. Raiden was born with Pfeiffer syndrome, which fused the bones in his skull before birth. He couldn't breathe on his own. Doctors told his parents, Natasha and Rufus, that he might pass or they could fight. They chose to fight. He was placed on life support and later given a tracheostomy so he could breathe. By 3, Raiden had survived 30 surgeries, 14 on his skull alone. Developmentally, he lags about a year behind, but with 6 hours of therapy each week, he's catching up fast. His first steps came during his second Christmas. His family calls him stubborn, joyful, and fiercely strong. But the internet hasn't been kind. Strangers have called him creepy, his mom selfish. His brother Julian fiercely defends him, and Natasha continues to share updates unapologetically. He deserves to be seen, she says, and he does. Raiden didn't just pull through. He's become the heartbeat of a family that refused to give up. Number 4. Sonali Mukherjee. In 2003, Sonali was a standout student in Jharkhand, India, until one night changed everything. 3 men, furious after she rejected them, broke into her home and hurled acid onto her face as she slept. She was 17. The attack left her blind, partially deaf, and permanently disfigured. Her attackers were sentenced but walked free after 4 months. Sonali, meanwhile, fought through 22 surgeries over the next decade and rose as a fierce voice for women's rights and acid attack survivors. In 2012, she appeared on Kaun Banega Crorepati, winning 2.5 million rupees, money she used for more treatment. She learned Braille, spoke publicly, and became one of the most recognized faces in India's fight against gender violence. The media attention eventually faded, but her resolve didn't. She never wanted pity, she demanded justice. And while she's quieter now, It isn't surrender. It's proof she wasn't fighting for fame, but for respect. Number 3. Amaya. 2-year-old Amaya was born with several complex conditions, including caudal regression syndrome and microtia with atresia. She was born without legs or ears. At her 20-week scan, doctors warned Jaylin and Chris something was off, but no one expected the full picture until delivery. A cleft palate and jaw issues made breathing a struggle, and she endured 3 major surgeries before turning 2 months old. After months in NICU, she came home. Her family adjusted fast. Jaylin learned sign language. Her older sister Araya became her shadow. Everyone began speaking softly so Amaya could hear better. She's now thriving in therapy, breaking limits daily. Another spinal surgery is ahead, and her family has launched a fundraiser for it. Yet, Amaya remains a burst of joy, always grinning, always moving. Jaylin says they're constantly amazed by her resilience. She knows no limits, they say. And now, thanks to TikTok, her story is uplifting and empowering families walking similar roads. Now, let's head over to Number 2. Akshaj Khandelwal. Akshaj Khandelwal was born in Delhi with Klippel-Trenaunay syndrome, a condition so rare that most doctors only study it in textbooks. His right leg grew enormously, nearly 4 times its normal size, covered in dark markings and tangled veins. By age 3, doctors told his parents there was no cure. Some neighbors whispered that it was a blessing, some sort of divine sign. But his parents weren't fooled. It wasn't mystical, it was exhausting. His leg made walking difficult, sleeping uncomfortable, and going out in public a non-stop invitation for stares. The veins couldn't drain properly, so the tissue and bone kept expanding. Surgery could ease pain, but wouldn't fix the underlying condition. His mind, though, was sharp, curious, alert, and observant. His parents tried to shield him from the world, and eventually updates about him disappeared. But that image, a quiet little boy with a giant leg, looking out at the world with calm, intelligent eyes, never quite left anyone who saw his story. Okay, guys, now let's end this journey with Number 1. Bablu Pashi. In a remote village near Allahabad, Bablu lived with a rare case of localized gigantism that caused his right arm to balloon to nearly 44 pounds. The weight alone made life exhausting, washing up hurt. A 10-minute walk needed rest, and sleeping became an ordeal. The swelling came from a hormonal disorder, but treatment options in his area were slim. By his 30s, Bablu had made peace with chronic pain. Still, he remained social, visiting markets, chatting with neighbors, accepting help only when necessary. His story appeared in a short documentary nearly a decade ago and quickly caught global attention. People couldn't forget the image, a man with an enormous arm and a quiet, humble strength. Not much has been heard since, but what remains is Bablu's calm endurance. As he once said, "It hurts, but this is the body I have." He never asked for sympathy, just space to keep moving forward, one step at a time. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.